Hey, Kim. Kim, are you going to be here till the end of the meeting? All right. 37 footers. Scary a little bit?
Flip it up. Yep, flip it up. There you go.
Thank you, Gabe. I call the April 14th, 2026 Colonial School Board meeting to order. Please rise and join us as we are led by Jude Hawkins with the Pledge of Allegiance. Yep, go right ahead.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Setting a new trend. Mike.
All right, good job, Jim.
Thank you very much, Jude. All right, are there any additions or corrections to the agenda, Dr. Menza?
No, there are no additions or corrections to the agenda.
All right, with that being said, do I hear a motion?
Make a motion, we approve the agenda as presented.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All right. And as moved by by Mr. Laws and seconded by Dr. Dorsey, are there any questions or comments from the board? All right, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. All right, first up on the agenda time is time for the board members and the executive secretary to discuss items of information and topics from our participation in various professional organizations and committees. We'll start with the DSBA, which is the Delaware School Boards Association. Dr. Dorsey for the Legislative Committee.
So the next DSBA Legislative Committee meeting is next Wednesday, the 22nd.
Okay. And Mr. Handy for the Executive Committee.
Yes, and ours will be May the May.
May 6th. Okay. And then we have the Chief School Officers Association for Dr. Menzer.
Yes, we met on April 2nd. It was a virtual meeting. We spent particular amount of time talking about the impact of three recent pieces of legislation: House Bill 330, House Bill 331, and Senate Bill 272, and what impact those might have on districts. And just for the clarification for the audience, the HB 330 and 331 are related to educator bills of rights, and We Got Your Back bills that were sponsored by, I believe, Senator Buxton. And then SB 272 is a bill that talks about labor agreements for districts. Expectation districts will engage in labor agreements with local unions regarding capital projects and construction in the future. That's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, but we haven't heard anything recently about that bill. We also had a conversation with Secretary Martin. We learned about the Your Choice, Your Voice initiative, which allows teachers to utilize Donors Choose organization to purchase classroom supplies and materials that support the curriculum, specifically with regards to literacy and reading in all classrooms and all grades. We did also learn about the strategic plan that DOE announced last month, specific focus on building block 5 related to families and communities as partners. And we also got an update on the status of opportunity funds that are going to be coming to the school district in the 26-27 school year, which are grant funds that are available for us to work with our most needy students, specifically those who are English language learners or the low poverty students. Then we were also able to get a professional development workshop from the Delaware Comptroller General, Ms. Ruth Ann Miller, who kind of walked through for the superintendents what the budget process is like. It's a fascinating fascinating session. She did it last year, and she did it again this year. It just basically walks through all the different steps that the legislative body goes through to get the budget that's presented to JFC, and all the different meetings, conversations, and the planning that goes into securing the budget. And then it gives you an idea of where the funds are coming from and where they're going to at the state level. So the superintendents were able to get about an hour and a half FaceTime with the Comptroller General. That was the full time of the meeting.
Thank you, Dr. Menzer. And do you want to keep going with the Reading Consortium?
Yeah, the Reading Consortium, I have nothing to report new from the last meeting. We haven't met since, but I do know now that our next meeting is April 30th from 5:30 to 7:30 at the Orlando George campus, Delaware Tech, Orlando George campus in Wilmington. I'll have an update for the board in May regarding the outcome of that conversation.
Thank you. And strategic planning?
So I'm gonna ask Nikki to help me out here because I missed the last meeting. I know there's a meeting tomorrow, so can you talk a little bit about what occurred at the last meeting and what may be on the agenda for tomorrow?
Here it is. Alrighty, so at the last strategic plan meeting, we began creating scorecards for the goals within the strategic plan, as well as we began creating the marketing plan. We're going to be finalizing those things tomorrow, and we have one more meeting in May that I am positive we will be continuing that work. Again, the strategic plan will be out for release August 2026.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And then for the Major Capital Construction Review Committee, our next meeting is on May the 5th. And it is Zoom for anyone who's available and would like to join them. All right, that is all of them there.
I want to just add one point to this portion of the agenda. Starting next month, we're going to add a letter F committee to this roster. We're going to add the Citizens Finance Oversight Committee so that Emily Falcon can provide a monthly update on the workings and the interactions of the Citizens Finance Oversight Committee. It's an unheralded group of citizens who monthly review copious amounts of numbers, dollars in and out of the district to make sure that we stay fiscally sound as a district. And we feel that it's important that since we have all these other committees that they get a chance to like get a report out. They won't be at the meeting necessarily unless they need to, but Emily is the chair of that group and will report out on it. So I'm going to add that to this agenda starting in May.
Probably the most important committee there is. Yeah. No?
Yes, they are very important.
All right, and so now is the time in the board meeting for our celebration of the E and the power of we. We're going to begin with our student board member Mia to provide us with her report.
Right. Good evening, Colonials, and welcome back from spring break. To start, there are the social updates. There are many senior events coming up this and next month. On May 5th is the seniors Phillies game. The week after that, on the 15th, is prom night at the Chase Center in Wilmington. For more prom information, students can look on the William Penn website or go to the N1 Staff Center with any questions that they may have. There is also a prom raffle ticket going on for students to have the opportunity to win a free prom ticket. There is a senior trip to the Poconos on May 27th, and a bowling party, which doesn't have a set date yet, but keep an ear out for when it is announced. On June 3rd and 4th, there's graduation practice from 7 to 11 a.m. Also on June 4th, after graduation practice, there's a senior picnic. And later that night is senior sunset. Then on the 5th is graduation, which will also have a required practice in the morning before that ceremony begins. Also, seniors, don't forget to pay your senior dues. For academic updates, starting tomorrow and for the next 2 Wednesdays, William Penn will be hosting its annual Pathway Day where Colonial Middle Schools will be bringing their 7th graders to William Penn to get a sneak peek of the different pathways that we have to offer and get to ask current William Penn students about their pathways and experiences. As lots of students know, it's also AP exam season. I wish you guys wonderful study sessions and fives all across the board. And there's no athletic updates for today other than spring sports are going on steady. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. All right, and to continue with our E in the power of we storytelling, I'm gonna turn the mic over to Colonial's Public Information Officer, Miss Lauren Wilson. Miss Wilson, the floor is yours.
Good evening, everyone here from Colonial Nation. As we all know, school secretaries are the real backbone of schools. And Colonial has a real great team of school secretaries. But one is a big shark, better known as a sharketary at Southern, where sharks are the mascots. Carmen Word is a dedicated school secretary who actively enhances school culture through impactful initiatives and events. She is the brainchild for the perfect attendance assemblies that improve attendance and student morale. She has led Women's History Month by coordinating over 30 guest readers and manages Black History Month student announcements, celebrating with her handpicked participants, and she also gives them a lunch that she personally pays for. She also launched the school's first successful craft fair and continues to organize events such as sweetheart dances and spirit days. Additionally, she conducts school tours, documents activities through photography, promotes events on social media, demonstrating her strong commitment and leadership within the school community. We wish to thank Carmen Word for representing who we are.
That's my that's
Look at me. 3, 2.
Go Carmen. Thank you.
Good job, thank you.
Moving on now, families in the Colonial Early Education Program, better known as SEEP, play an essential role in building a strong, connected school community through their constant generosity and involvement. These parents consistently show their support by donating their time, resources, and energy to enhance the learning environment for all students. Whether volunteering in classrooms, assisting with school events, or simply being a steady, encouraging presence, these families demonstrate a deep commitment to their children's education. Their willingness to give back and stay engaged not only strengthens the program, but also fosters a warm, collaborative atmosphere where students feel supported both at school and at home. We're going to ask the families to come forward when they're called, pause for a photograph, and then when there's a break in tonight's meeting, go downstairs and there will be a group a photograph taken. We're going to start with Katie Hawkins and her family. Any teachers with Cassius want to come forward?
Say cheese.
One, three, 1, 2, 3.
Hold on one second. I know Katrina Daniels wants to get in the picture.
Yeah, hold it right here and look at the camera, okay?
Hold in.
All right, ready? Look and say cheese, Cash.
1, 2. All right.
Next, we have Christine Toonstall with Finley. You would come forward if you're here tonight. We also have Solange Sign with Jason. Come on up, everybody.
Jake is reading. Jake is reading right now. Practicing his Haggerty.
Hey guys, want to so you know it?
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Got it. Thank you.
Next, we have Brittany Camp. Is she here tonight? Okay, Ian Letterman.
He's like, keep it up.
Yeah, yeah, he was needing the thing for.
Oh, that was all the giggles there.
Yes.
So much board meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Perfect.
Turn
Turn
to
around.
me.
Mr. Gabe.
1.
Your show time.
Look at me.
You're good.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Got it.
Is Kyla Honey here? Kyla? How about Alasia Cherry?
That's all. That's all.
Rebecca
This one's here.
Yep.
Aroma?
Yeah, we'll see.
Those are all your parents?
Yep, those are all our fans. Wait. Sorry, we have one more.
Okay, we're gonna read the names anyway. Rebecca Coroma, Tashana Bratton, Jamin Hill, Dante Sutton, Melanie Prince, and Julie and Robert Shue.
Gabe, can I get a picture of Miss Daniel from some point?
You're the boss.
Shut up.
Yeah, all of our things.
I'll do it up here.
Yeah.
You know what? We can do it up here.
Yeah.
That's fine. Hold on.
You can go.
I want a picture with you.
Oh, wait, oh, come on.
Yes.
The one time I had it. This is the pick on Chris.
Where's the rest of the, anybody else? Where's the rest of the seat people back there?
Come on. Come on.
Come on.
Here's get it from his view.
Come on, let's bring up the seat.
That's right.
Yeah, this power we thing we got going on.
Great. Come on, let's go.
Break them.
Katrina, where's your phone?
I can send it to her.
Yeah.
I can send it to her. Oh, I can do it right now. She scared me.
Say cheese.
All right, ready?
Ready? Look, say cheese.
3, 2, 1. Okay.
Get everybody in there.
I got it.
So before you leave and you have your photos and everything, the board wanted to present with you the We Believe recognition for this month. Every month we recognize one staff member or a group of staff members who just go above and beyond to show how much important it is to believe in our students and our families. And so in that honor, the board would like you to have a just one copy of the book for your library.
Pass it around.
And then, more importantly, they heard that your theme was the little engine that could, and so they had a little something. I think I can. They signed it on the back, signed it this way, and,
Thank you guys so much.
Thanks, Katrina.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing the pledge.
Yes.
Thank you. Good job.
Yeah, you should come for the kids.
All right, thank you for letting us give a pause, just allow the families to be able to leave if they'd like. And, for all the hardcore fans of school board meetings, we thank you for staying. So, yeah.
Concert.
So we're gonna move on over to public comment. We do have one public comment. Oh, but no virtual comments. As indicated on public comment sheet, that you have, when your name is called, you will have 3 minutes to speak. You're expected to remain in the designated area for speaking with the board, and failure to do so will result in your forfeiting your allotted time. I will give you a 1 minute warning, if you're moving up towards the 3 minute mark. Please note that board members are not obligated to respond to you within your 3 minute time slot. Administrative staff may be identified and asked to provide follow-up on specific questions or personal issues regarding your child or children after the meeting. I have a comment request from Ms. Rashida Campbell.
Thank you. I didn't have to flip it up. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Rashida Campbell. And you may remember me from last month. I made a public comment about some challenges that my grandson was having in Gunning Bedford. So first, I just want to thank all of the administration and the teachers that reached out to us. I mean, they just flooded me and my daughter's phones and emails wanting to help. And so we have a great plan that we're working on in place for him. So I wanted to first just thank you guys. But also, it just reminded me how much of a strong and caring community that Colonial is, which is why my comment this month is to announce that I'm also running for the Colonial School District Board of Education in the upcoming election next month on May 12th. And so this is really a full circle moment for me, I will say. This is not a personal, it's a personal decision. It's not a political decision. As Dr. Minzer pointed out last month, I walked these halls as a student. I am a graduate of William Penn, class of 1993. And I went to Newcastle, used to be called Newcastle Middle, right? So I went to Newcastle Middle around the corner, and I was inspired and challenged by great teachers like Mrs. Fox, God rest her soul. And so it wasn't just the teachers, ironically, that showed their love and care. It was the custodians and also the secretaries. I remember me trying to cut class one time, okay, I'm gonna say one time. And the very astute ladies in the N1 office noticed that my request didn't look quite too good and called my mother and called me down to the office and basically ruined, you know, the whole day that I had planned to cut class. But this is a family. And so I've experienced this district as a student, as a parent. My son graduated from William Penn in 2010, and now my grandson, as I mentioned, is a student here. So this is a very special place for me, and I want to be a part of shaping its future. So listening to the strategic plan last month, and also working with Andrew and Chris on the Colonial Construction Review Committee, I am super, super, super excited about everything that we have in store for Colonial. So professionally, I have over 30 years of experience, organizational leadership experience, managing global teams, driving measurable results. But just know that I'm qualified to lead, I'm competent to govern, and I'm committed to working really hard with the board to make sure that we have the great successful outcomes for this district like I had. All right, so thank you very much, and I hope to have your vote on May 12th. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was perfect, Tom. 3 minutes on the dot. All right. Thank you very much, Ms. Campbell. And moving on with no other public comment, we'll move over to the next agenda item, which is the consent agenda. The items listed under the consent agenda have gone through board review, including documentation concerning these items that have been provided to all board members and the public in advance. Items in the consent agenda generally include routine personnel and business office action and updates, as well as approval of previous meeting minutes and education-related items such as choice and student placements. With that being said, do I hear a motion?
I move that we approve all consent agenda items as presented.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All right, as moved by Dr. Dorsey, seconded by Ms. Breeding. Are there any questions or comments from the board? All right, that being said, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion is carried. All right, next up on the agenda is updates and action items. Move that over to Dr. Menzer.
First up, we have Dr. Lancour back in the building to rock out, to keep the concert theme going back there. Her math presentation for the spring. So I'll turn the mic over to Dr. Lancour and the crew she's brought with her to present.
Thank you. I hope that crew, you better join me. Yeah. Glasses on so I can see. So good evening, everyone. Good evening, Colonial School Board and broader community. They're on Zoom and those of us in the room. I'm Crystal Lancour, I supervise math in Colonial. And over the past year or so, I've been giving some updates around our new math curriculum and specifically focusing on our elementary version this year. And so in the fall, I shared a little bit of how the data funnels through and what it looks like and how kids are starting to grow and some little positive highlights. But this year I brought some friends, our family from Wilbur, to help us through. And so, yeah, we'll get a little cheers. Okay, get this clicker here. So, as usual, we usually focus this around our 3 core values in math: be the spark, own your brilliance, and be bold and brave. So we're going to start with be the spark. And one of our teachers from Wilbur, a 5th grade teacher, Vicki Ward, is going to share a little bit about how this curriculum is sparking curiosity.
Using our new ADM math curriculum this year has been an exciting journey. In my opinion, there are many positive parts of ADM, but the resources it provides is one of the most significant strengths. Each lesson has engaging slides and illustrated math workbook pages for students. Several lessons in each unit are digital. Students are able to manipulate pictures, tables, number lines, etc. to have a better visual understanding of the math concept. Each lesson also has a prepared intervention lesson plan and scaffold worksheet that we can use with our Tier 2 math groups. There are also additional practice pages available. My students and I especially like the Boost computer lessons that provide practice that is adaptive to the students' strengths and needs. Finally, there is an outstanding resource available for our parents and guardians. Each unit has a caregiver packet that includes a sample of the instruction and several practice problems for each lesson. It also includes what parents love most, an answer key. The wealth of ADM materials give teachers the time that would be spent searching for resources to be leveraged to meet our students' math needs.
Thank you. Next up, we have Lindsay, the fearless leader, telling us a little bit about how we are owning our brilliance. Our teachers and students are owning their brilliance.
Hi, I am Lindsay DeMedio, the principal, the proud principal of Wilbur Elementary School. I first want to thank Dr. Lancor for recognizing the hard work that our teachers at Wilbur are putting in every day, and our math coach, Lori Wiseman, who is supporting them through this whole process. It has been an amazing experience to see the coherence and the cohesion between the grade levels and between the tier instruction within this curriculum. I don't want to steal the thunder of some of our teachers, but I do want to tell you that it has been incredible to see that the students are learning the exact same things in their classrooms that they are when they go out into intervention, and they're able to fill those gaps immediately right from the instruction that they just received. The other wonderful thing that I see in this program is every day at the end of each lesson, there is a portion called Show What You Know, and it allows the teachers to get a quick glimpse. Did my students get it today, or did they not get it? This allows for immediate intervention during the intervention block. If the teacher sees, oh, that one didn't really land today, I might have to do a whole lesson again. We have mini lessons, which the teachers can do during that intervention time, or they can just pull a small group, and it directly connects to what they taught in the lesson that day. It's been an amazing experience seeing it happen from K to 5. Normally we roll curriculum out like one grade level or two grade levels at a time, but being able to see it in K to 5 and all the cohesion within the grades has been an awesome experience. All right, this is Courtney Hopkins, and she is one of our math interventionists at Wilbur.
I'm not much of a talker, so just watch the video. All right, girls, what do you like most about coming to this math group? Mine, what do you like most? Less than green. You like less than greener then? Okay. How about you, Miss Briella? To the computers. All right, girls, thanks for sharing. What do you like about coming to math?
One thing that I like is that it's very inspiring.
All right, Jace, what do you like about coming to this math group? Oh, nice. All right, Mr. Ria, what about you?
Well, I like this math group because I like how I pay attention and be respectful and also pay attention and also get things right.
Good job, bud. Great. I promise you, these answers from the kids were not scripted. I showed it to my dad last night. He was like, "How much treats and incentives did you give them?" I said, "No, I didn't have to." So I'm gonna let my buddy John, my math partner John Steger, talk. We kind of went through some data this week together. More students at Wilbur are graduating out of math intervention than they were last year in the 4 years that I've been a math interventionist. So we still have a whole nother cycle, 8 weeks to go. And so my buddy John he's like the real math guy, so he's gonna give you the real numbers.
Well, thanks for stealing my thunder, Courtney. So I'm the boring stats part of this math operation. Currently, our projected graduation rate for our intervention is at 60% since we started using ADO. So Right now, last year, for the entire year, we were able to graduate 15 students out of tier 3. We've already graduated 18, and we still have another semester to go, or another market period to go. So we're at 60% growth. We're getting more friends back into the classroom and out of intervention. So that's wonderful. And I think it's a testament to ADM primarily because of the mini lessons that we've been able to utilize. Crystal's going with moving us to working on the stuff that they're learning in their classrooms as trying to meet them where they are, which has been very helpful. And then additionally, Courtney and I also use our caregiver packets, and we send them home every unit so that parents can work with their students at home to continue to further enhance those skills.
You might have to click it so the video doesn't play. If I click it, yeah, there we go.
Hi, I'm Lori Weisman, the math coach. So I'm under Be Bold and Brave, and like Lindsay mentioned earlier, rolling out a brand new curriculum, K to 5, is a tough task, especially at Wilbur, the largest elementary school. But I have to say, so I formerly taught 6th grade math at McCullough, and I've been a math coach this is my 7th year. For me, one of the coolest things is that all of our students are learning the correct math vocabulary starting in kindergarten. So like we're not calling things a rainbow for friends of 10, and then when we get to factor pairs and multiplication, calling it a rainbow meaning weight, but my teacher in 1st grade called it that. Both our students and our teachers are learning. So expressions and equations are different. And that was something our kindergarten and 1st grade teachers learned this year, but our kids are learning that. And it's cool to hear them saying it. They're learning how to use the words, figure out, oh, is this an expression? Is this an equation? And that vocabulary is going to carry them K-12 and beyond. And they're learning the terms from the beginning. So that cohesion is just going to continue to build. We're seeing that our kids are capable of problem solving. They don't have to be walked through or shown like an I do, we do, you do to do everything. They have a lot of ideas already, and we're getting to see those. And then teachers, they're walking around, they're monitoring, they're asking questions. ADM has questions ready for teachers to use. And then they have like a resource of questions that they can just kind of have in their back pocket, but really using that questioning to push student thinking. And then they bring everyone together in the connect and we clear up misunderstandings. Our teachers are doing an amazing job just implementing the curriculum, and there are challenges, right? It's a brand new curriculum for many of them. Some did pilot, but just embracing those changes. As a teacher, I've taught 5th grade for how many years, Vicki?
How many years?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, 30.
30. And I have a new curriculum with a new lesson, and I'm trying to teach it myself, right? And then anticipate what struggles my kids are going to have, but they're embracing that and they're learning and teachable moments for both teachers and kids. I just think our teachers are doing an amazing job. One of the things we did also want to talk about is like, what are things we're learning and what are things working for or working forward on? So that monitoring piece that I talked about, sometimes it still turns into maybe a little bit too much leading or like instruction in the moment. So that is what part of our school success plan is, just working on pulling that back and letting our students take the lead. They are the learners and we are kind of trying to step back. And then when we come together, we have those conversations to clear things up. And I just think, honestly, I'm super excited to just see where we go with math in the coming years with us all. K to 5, 6 to 8 is using Amplify, and maybe a little bit in 9th grade, I think, too. So I just think we're on a good track for where we need to be.
There's not much more I can say, everybody, but as they all said, we are still learning and growing. It's not perfect. And there's still so many things about the curriculum, the program that we're still tapping into, right? I mean, Lori, there's so much more that we haven't even like scratched the surface, I feel like. So there's so much more to learn and grow. And so I think that's pretty much it for us. I put a couple of quotes on here so you could read those on your own time, just some general reflections for you to think about. Because I know you all have the slides with you. But that's it. I just want to I always leave this up here. So if anybody in the community is interested, there's the caregiver hub, so you can access things online for home. Like he said, John said, there's practice and things that they can do at home. And join us at STEAM next week on Tuesday, April 21st, and then at Math 24 on April 29th. Thanks, everybody. Do you have any questions? I guess I should.
We'll go down and start with, Carlos.
That sounds fantastic, and my question you already answered. When I saw that you have a Spanish option over there for the parents, and I know.
And they're teaching it in Spanish immersion too.
Yeah, that's fantastic, thank you.
Is that for all the students in the K through 5 that they've implemented that?
We have Spanish immersion at Wilbur and a few, I think it's Pleasantville, right? So those students are,
No, not just the Spanish, I meant the whole program. Is that just?
yeah, so they're all the access for the families. Yep, there's a Spanish link for families on there as well.
How does it feel, when you have a lot of experience in the classroom? And I'm glad you incorporate language into the math. I'm really excited. But how hard is it to step back and let the kids figure it out, and you want to step in?
It really is. It's really been amazing. I've enjoyed every minute. I've enjoyed every minute of it.
Oh, people online. Sorry. I've enjoyed every minute of it, but it has been a struggle. I will want to say that Lori has been absolutely amazing and very supportive of all the teachers at Wilbur. I've gone to her before and asked her to come in and teach a lesson with me so I can see certain parts of it and kind of work on the different parts of the lesson. But it gives you so many resources to work with that you can't help but really just buy into it.
We've also had some professional development from the curriculum program itself. We've had a coach come out at all of our levels actually, and sort of model and kind of let the teachers see what it's supposed to look like. Because sometimes we hang on that beginning because we want them to master it right at the beginning. Know it you kind of learn how to it'll circle back, and then we'll eventually get there. And so that's been really helpful as well. And to see the teachers grow across the year from where we just started to where they are now, the observations have been great.
Last question. What teachers struggled in the professional development training when the people who came down to train y'all? Who was the problem teacher?
Yeah.
Right.
Anything else?
Chris?
So I was really impressed at your, the data that you just mentioned about moving the kids out of, is it tier 2 or tier 3?
Tier 3.
Back into the classroom. That's terrific. And then I'll just be a little bit of a Debbie Downer. How does it align to the state testing tests?
That's a really good question. I will say first, also, what's really been helpful about the kids coming out is we've been trying to use this blended approach of like catching kids right in the moment, but also there's still some kids, right, who still need some of the things that are a little further behind. So we're trying to like balance all those things. There's so many resources to do that. Do you all answer?
The rigor is raised to a whole nother level. So quite honestly, our kids, I mean, this year is going to be challenging because we're still fifth grade still filling in a lot of holes. But I see as we move forward, they're going to get better and better at the state test. One of the things this program offers within the practice is multiple choice questions, which are very challenging for kids to work on in math because of the way they're very tricky. And so it gives us that opportunity to model that and work through that and talk about strategies. So when they take the state test, they're more successful.
Thank you.
Can I something else too, just reflection from like kindergarten teachers. Our kids right now in unit 5, and they have 7 units, are like adding and subtracting within 10. And many of them have said to me like, Lori, we weren't doing this last year. And then when like I look at first grade, they are adding and subtracting within 100, right? So our second grade that's doing within 1,000, which that used to be in third grade, they were adding and subtracting with 1,000. So it is matched to the Common Core standards. But like Vicky said, when we think about our kids in 5th grade, we've got a couple of years, right, for them to catch up. So state testing might take a few years to catch up, but I am hopeful that we're on the right track there.
Thank you.
I would say too, a lot of our students were encouraging the teachers to administer the assessments online as much as they can, so the kids are getting used to it. So as you're walking around classrooms, you're actually seeing kids show their work and type, like they're typing their responses and doing like explaining their thinking, which is a whole nother level, right? To think about it, be able to say it and then write it out. So that's been really good. I was gonna say one more thing about, you just said I lost it that quick. I was gonna say the teachers who pilot, the grade levels who piloted, and the grade levels that are here now, like right after, those teachers are seeing a lot stronger growth because they had it last year.
Great, great.
Thank you. You have the Senior Showcase coming up. Is there, and that's your guys' big event there? Do you
Yeah.
have anything kind of, kind of share with the public for anybody who's watching or anything?
Oh, there are it's gonna be a lot of fun. There will be a lot more community partners this year too, come bringing in some outside things. And just some really fun, I don't like to give away, there's some really fun projects. Kids are bringing. I know, I'm not gonna give away any secrets. Oh, yeah, the date is April 21st, Tuesday. Here at William Penn from 6 to 8.
And I'm assuming getting there at 6 is important.
Yeah, because that parking lot fills up. Because the kids come between 5:30 and 6, so it fills up.
I was about to say, you're just not getting through everything if you're getting there any bit.
Oh, yeah, if you come later than that, you're not gonna see all the fun stuff.
Very excited for it, obviously. Next month, we're gonna see you again for Math 24, right?
Math 24, yeah, usually in May, we celebrate the winner, so hopefully we get that quick. It might not be as quick a turnaround,
You'll
my
come see us again.
I wonder what my deadline is. I'll get mine in, tell you to move my deadline is. Because the competition is the 29th, so if I can usually get it in pretty quick. I might be able to get it in quick.
Send them over here. Every year that you brought them, I've missed them. I don't get to play against them, so I'd love to have them. I won't be able to make it to the competition.
We'll get Chris a special opportunity to compete against the winners.
I'm sure a kid would love to be.
Yeah.
What do you got, Ted?
Nothing, I'm good, thank you.
Dr. Dorsey?
Kind of talking about a little bit what you talked about with Chris, talking about the ADM, and she talked about the standardized tests, but I'm more standardized test, right? I'm more focused on, you talked about the students who are moving through the tiered systems. How are those students doing meeting the objectives of the daily learning goals that, and your objective for the lessons that you have for them?
I can't speak about tier 3 because I would be our interventionist, but we also have tier 2 within our classroom. This program again offers mini lessons that are directly connected to the lesson you just talked to the whole class. So there's that time, that math intervention time, where I pull that group and they're basically, it scaffolds what we just did as a whole class in a way that they can get it. And what's great about it is by the time they're even done that session, they're feeling good about it because they now understand better what we're doing. And then usually they're able the next day to then pick back up where we are. I have some students that actually are still in tier 2, like labeled tier 2. But quite honestly, sometimes I don't even pull them to the group because during that particular class session, they got in the whole class what they were doing. And that doesn't usually happen. So again, it goes to this, I don't have statistics, but it definitely goes to that.
Yeah, it's really nice cohesion because like Lindsay spoke to the coherence, we have the core curriculum, right? Which is that problem-based exploration, supported and facilitated by the teacher. You have the explicit instruction, with the mini lesson. There's a personalized boost that they can do that kind of gives them a little extra boost. You can see who's like still continuing to follow through. And then there's so many more things. There's progress monitoring that you can check in on the standards throughout the year. So there's a lot to sort of follow up. And what I like about the progress monitoring is the retention, right? So oftentimes kids forget it after a month or so. That kind of gives us that retention data piece.
And I say that not to discount the state test, but let's also focus on what's happening every day, and that's the most important part. What does the child know today that they didn't know yesterday? Is the most important part.
So in our school success plan, as far as like implementing the program, but then we have grade level percentages and we pick standards for each grade based on the focus of the units in each marking period. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but each quarter we have had several grades who have met their targets. But I know in particular, the very beginning of the year, first grade, we were only at like 20%.
I believe it was an OA operations standard, and we had wanted to be at 50%. And this last quarter, we met our goal. We actually succeeded it at like 55, got above that. So we are seeing that growth in their grade level, day-to-day scores. There are some challenges. Fractions is still a challenge for 4th and 5th grade. But when we had the lady from Page Driver who came from ADM, my 3rd grade was particularly interested in that fraction, and she dug in for us and gave us some more things and even showed like where they start to see it a little bit in 1st grade and a little bit in 2nd grade. So again, I think that trajectory is going to help to push those areas too.
That's awesome. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Lancourt, Wilbur, team.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So Chris, Thursdays at 10:45, you are invited, all of you, to come to Wilbur's 24. We do the math club during the day. So if you ever want to come play with our kids, Thursdays.
Did you
you're
get a
invited.
big kid?
I wish you luck, 'cause those kids are good. They school me all the time.
Why did the wife tell her about watching?
Yeah, yep. Thursdays,
I know.
10:45.
Somebody's not watching.
Yeah, if only she watched what I do. You know?
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Hopkins. Okay, our next update and action item is improved facilities. You know, every 3 months we have a update. This month, the update includes the facilities maintenance repair plan, which you know, the board has to approve, so we can send it down to DOE by May 1st of each school year, per the direction of to the Department of Education, per the statute in Title Chapter 14 related to this assessment system, this evaluation and assessment system on school facilities. So with us this evening is Drew Moffett, Director of Operations, and Steve Johnson, Facilities Supervisor. If there's any questions or comments regarding the information in this section, they're here to entertain them.
I think he's done.
I was just waiting to
I
make
said one day
sure.
we're gonna switch. He's gonna be here.
Do you have anything for us, or you're?
No,
just
there's no,
answering
it's just-
questions?
no, that you have the
Oh.
handout, and then you can ask questions of them based on what was in the handout.
I'm sorry.
So the questions from the board, they're in.
I had talked to Jeff, and really I got my answer, I think. But for any listening public out there, I did notice looking at the document, I kept seeing the same phrase over and over again, which was these updates to the secure vestibules. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, we spent all this money making secure vestibules, which is great. I mean, I am absolutely 100% for whatever safety we need to do. But I'm also not a fan of unfunded mandates from the state. So can you just tell us a little bit about how these new regulations are being financed, paid for?
Absolutely. We've been fortunate over the years with safety and security grants. We've been able to do the majority of our buildings and get secure vestibules through the years. There are statutes that are in place that basically put the specs, so the specifications of what the secure vestibule should be about. And to your point, indirectly, they were unfunded mandates that they highly recommended be in our buildings. As part of our CN plans that we went to referendum for a number of years ago, it was to ensure that we had secure vestibules in all of our buildings that did have students in them. The only few remaining buildings are Southern and Wilbur that are part of the CN plans. But with anything, statutes and specifications do change over time. DEMA themselves don't actually do an official approval unless it's associated with the CN plan. So with each one of our CN submissions to the state for construction approval, they actually give us a letter of approval for our secure vestibules. They need to make sure that they're up to date with the current specifications. So our architects and engineers that put together the plans to go out for the CN requests for the referendum made sure to actually allot some monies in there to ensure that we had some funding to be able to cover any updates that would be necessary. I can say, and Steve can support this, our first few projects that are coming through that you're going through construction design approvals for us. William Penn was actually our first secure vestibule we put in way long ago, and it had very few updates that were necessary to it. So our staff that put together the plans according to the specifications over the years, we're basically up to date with it. And there were only a few items that DEMA asked for us to update before they gave us a letter of approval for us to move forward. So luckily, not much additional funding was needed for this large of a facility.
So it's a combination of state grants, maybe some federal money, though that may be drying up, and then whatever we might have built into the referendum that we passed.
That is correct. The majority of ours have come from the grants and the state and the federal monies that you speak of.
Perfect.
Yeah.
The one thing to note though, Ms. Smith, is that there was no additional money put out there. This is just the prioritization of the task or the job
Okay.
in the existing money. So it still is, to your point, an unfunded mandate. It's just that the money had to be allocated as part of what was already out, and then priorities were assigned, and these are priorities that obviously you're not going to get to see and approved if it's not in there. So there's a pretty heavy carrot with that.
Got it.
To get it, to have it in there as part of the money that you're going to be getting anyway.
Okay.
So it wasn't additional money, so it still is unfunded, but we do have the ability to utilize several different pots of money in order to achieve this. And like Drew said, we've been fortunate that we've had a solid team in place. These updates are, outside of Southern and Wilbur, have been kind of far and few in between.
Good.
Right. Thank you.
As far as, where does it land as far as on a different schedule for anything that we have plans on for the current leach building and also for any improvements or anything for CPIDL? And oh, sorry. Isn't it?
So you're speaking of the current John G. Leach building as it stands now and seat that's connected to the building?
Yes.
Okay, so right now, we actually just begun discussions on what that might look like. Obviously, it was getting the new leach off the ground, which, again, if you saw in your updates, we do have dirt work occurring. We are on schedule and things are looking good there. If you're driving Route 1 northbound, just north of the 72 exit, you'll start to see a big mound of dirt. It's not a lot, but it's a dirt pile because they're moving things. It's happening. Yeah, it's our dirt pile. That's it. It is happening. So it is exciting. So now that that is up and running and moving, we are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel per se, that we are going to be moving that school down to a new building in the hopefully very near future, next fall. And with that, we are starting to look at what the options are going to be for that building, what that might entail. Obviously, SEEP is funded in a different way, so looking for improvements there. It's conversation still yet to be had, so there's nothing definite. But there are some speculative things thrown out there on some ideas, but nothing I think we're ready to take to the public yet, quite honestly.
We're just funding. Never proceed if we need funding for fixing something. One line.
Well, we know that they were not allowed to be a part of the CN process, so there's a lot of conversation around pre-K expansion across the state and where the money's going to come for that amongst the districts when asked. So there's no real direct answer for that other than local dollars if you were to do it, essentially. But you know how much that would take from the local operating budget.
Right now, any improvements we do to the building is with part of our normal maintenance or minor cap funds, so that's limited, because of course it's for all of our buildings. So we have to use that wisely for the time being or be creative.
Part of that discussion too, Chris, is the location of where that's going to be, because to centralize it more or whatever. So.
And there's a lot of different options to discuss when it comes to pre-K in terms of funding and location. Specifically, if you had a kindergarten center where you had pre-K in it, so you have kindergarten also generating units and funding. It's a different building than just a pre-K program. So you have to really thoughtfully sit down and look at your space, your projected enrollment, and the capacity of the facility itself to provide a pre-K environment that meets the criteria of certification.
I just think about how we get 5 to 10 years away in planning for major cap improvement on these others, and then if we're forced to think of any of that, things are going to come up in the next 10 years that are needed for that seed building. And so I just kind of wonder how we plan for that. And
Yeah, I definitely would expect that part of our maintenance repair plan would have more specific to seat coming into this time next April.
but it all shows up on the minor cap, and we use those funds.
That's basically what we're doing to keep that building up to the standard that it should be, to be obviously safe and efficient for our kids, yes, and staff as well.
I'm good. Everything looked fine on the presentation. I'll look at that. No question.
No, I'm good.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Oh.
I make a motion that we approve the maintenance plan as presented.
Second. Do I have a second?
Okay, second was part of it.
Okay, all right. Are there any as moved by Mr. Lowles, second by,
Finally got it, Ted. Congratulations.
second by Carlos, and, are there any questions or comments from the board? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. All right.
Before we adjourn, or before we get to the last agenda item, while the Wilbur staff are here, I do want to give a shout out. We know last month, or a month, recently, we just acknowledged some of our Yale Institute staff members who were participating in professional development with that program. We did receive word last week that Kathleen Wilbur's Joe Parrott was named a top teacher in that program, one of the top 5 in the program this year, and is going to be leading professional development with the Yale Institute. It's a huge honor to be a Yale Fellow, and we are super excited for Joe to be recognized for that. So I do want to get that out there. While Wilbur family is sitting there, make sure you know, let them know we got a shout out for him to take back to the crew.
Thank you so much. And, with that being said, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
No, second.
Second.
Oh, thanks, Carlos. Was Carlos on first?
Yes.
Okay, I'll take that. As moved by Carlos and seconded by, Chris, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Meeting's adjourned.